Hi guys, it's me back again with another video, and today I'm going to show you how to use if statements in the Go language. So without further ado, let's get started. So to start off, just open your favorite text editor and create a basic Go program, just like I did here with package main. You want to import the format library and create a function called main, which is our main loop in the program. So what I'm going to talk about today is an if statement, and an if statement is basically, it compares two values, and it's best explained if I just give an example. So let's just do that. Let's say I have my aunt is 50 and my other aunt, no, let's say other aunt, no, uncle is better. Uncle is 52. So I have two variables with which store the age of my aunt and uncle. So what can I do with this? Well, we can use an if statement to determine certain things, such as, is my aunt of the same age as my uncle? Or is my aunt older than my uncle, or vice versa? So I'll show you this. To use an if statement, you'll write if, and then the variable you first want to use, my aunt, which references this. So it says if 50 is equal, this is the is equal sign in Go language and many other languages, but that's for another video. If my aunt, her age is equal to the age of my uncle, then print out on the screen format.println my aunt is of the same age as my uncle, just like this, and we'll run it over here. My aunt is of the same age as my uncle, it says. So you can see this, but what if we wanted to know, is my aunt older than my uncle? Then this value should be bigger than my uncle's age. So if my aunt is greater than my uncle, my aunt is older than my uncle. And this doesn't run because, oh yeah, sure. Say my aunt is 55. Sorry. My aunt is older than my uncle. Yeah, that's right. So what we have seen is you can compare values. This is equal, this is greater than, this is smaller than, and we have one other. This is not equal. So if the value here is different than the value here, then this is true, and this basically checks for true. So if this is true, then do this. So I'll show you that. It prints this because 55 isn't the same thing as 50. So furthermore, no, this was just, I'm sorry, this is just a basic if statement. But what if we wanted to check multiple things? Then we could just do this. If my aunt is at the same age as my uncle, if my aunt is not of the same age, So if my aunt is older than my uncle, then format the print line, my aunt is older than my uncle, just like this. And then it will say my aunt is older than my uncle, because what the hell? Oh, I'm sorry. It will say my aunt is of the same age as my uncle. Just like this, my aunt is of the same age as my uncle. But if we change this to 51, my aunt is older than my uncle. But let's say if this, my aunt is not of the same, not of the same age as my uncle, it will print this and this. But we don't want that, because we just want one. We want to know if the age is different, and is it then greater or less than the other. So to do this, we should do this. Let's change this back first. So we should write this else, because else, do something else. And let's copy this, paste it here. So just like this, my aunt's not of the same age, my aunt is of the same age. As you can see, my aunt is of the same age as my uncle, because this is true, so it will output this. But if we change one of those values, like this, my aunt is not of the same age as my uncle, because here we say if the above is not true, then do this. But what if we wanted to check a separate thing, like this? Else, but then if aunt is greater than uncle, just say this. My aunt is older than my uncle. Just like this. And we can do this for the if my uncle is if my aunt is younger than my uncle, my aunt is younger than my uncle, format the print line, print line, my aunt is younger than my uncle, just like this. So if we were to run this, and we get a syntax error because I'm sorry, my aunt is younger than my uncle. My keyboard is just horrible, I'm sorry. Let's run it again. So my aunt is younger than my uncle. My uncle, not my uncle. No, my uncle. Because aunt is smaller than uncle, it will just print this. But if none of the above is true, which can be because we have covered all values, but let's say we didn't, then it will just print this. But let's say I have a cousin too, and he is of age 16, just like me. Then I would want to say, if my aunt is of the same age as my uncle, and if my cousin is of the same age as me, we could put another if statement in here. If cousin, this is me, we could just do this and then print it, blah 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 over here, you get it. But what we can do too is we can put a double end mark at there, and we can say me is equal to cousin. My aunt is of the same age as my uncle, and my cousin is of the same age as me. And if we run this, you see my aunt is of the same age as my uncle, and my cousin is of the same age as me. But if we were to change this to, let's say, 20, you can see my aunt is not of the same age as my uncle. And this is where the else statement kicks in, because my aunt is equal to my uncle. So this is true. And me is not equal to my cousin, because this is 20 and this is 16. So that's not equal. But my aunt also is not older than my uncle, and my aunt also is not younger than my uncle. So it will just go to this. But what if I just wanted to print out something if one of those two are true, this one or this one? Then I could just put an or sign. It's just two pipes actually. And my aunt is of the same age as my uncle, or my cousin is of the same age as me. And that's right, because my cousin is equal to 20 and me is equal to 16, but aunt and uncle are of the same age, so it doesn't matter. This is true, this is false, one is true, let's print this. But if this were false also, my aunt is younger than my uncle. Yeah, that's right. So this is just a basic if statement. And well, if you saw my last video where I explained variables, you may remember there are some things called booleans, and booleans are just a value. So if it's my birthday is true. Yeah, oh, sorry. Birthday is true. If birthday is true, format.print line happy birthday. Just this. And it'll work. Happy birthday. My aunt is the same age as me, or my uncle. So that's true. Let's change this to this for a second. Just like that. And let's do, yeah, just like this, and then nothing in the else. Just get rid of that. Well, if it's my birthday, print happy birthday. But what if it wasn't my birthday? Oh snap. It won't print anything. But there is an easier way to check if a boolean is true. So essentially, an if statement checks if what is written here is true. So if my aunt is equal to my uncle, that's true or false. Me is equal to my cousin, true or false. But a boolean is already true or false. So we could just write the boolean because it will say true or false. And you get if birthday, which is true. So if true, print happy birthday. So as you can see, if I run this, happy birthday. But if this is false, just like that, nothing runs. So yeah, that's actually it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something, and well, I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.